Well, the temple is finished. A temple of gold and silver. Solomon has a fabulous palace. We're at peace with other nations. Prosperity and happiness is ours. Oh, I'm surely glad I'm living right now.
True, my dear wife, true. But prosperity and happiness can end, and it's very apt to if Solomon isn't careful.
Why? What's Solomon done now?
Done? He's allied himself with idolatrous nations, married idol-worshipping wives, placed himself directly in the paths of temptation.
Oh, they couldn't possibly turn him away from worshiping the true God. He'll convert them, not they him.
Did you hear the news?
What news?
About King Solomon.
He married another wife?
No. He's yielded to the influence of one he already has. He's built an altar and shrine to her heathen false god.
Oh, I still don't believe that any woman, wife or otherwise, can turn King Solomon away from worshiping and obeying the true God of Israel.
Mark my word, this is just the beginning. Solomon isn't as strong of purpose as his father was. A sad day for Israel. Not only has King Solomon completely forsaken the God of Israel and is worshipping the gods and idols of his wives, but he has led the people of Israel into the same sins. A sad day for Israel.
I am king. I have court today. I'm far too busy to go with you.
Oh, but you have to, my husband and lord. Today is the time of service to the God of love and fertility.
But I can't quite bring myself to enter into all the rites. They seem degrading.
The God of love and fertility must be served if thy seed is to prosper and fill the earth.
Well, all right, my dear, I'll go with you.
Ah, my darling husband.
Today's the day of sacrifice. You must go with me, my lord.
But human sacrifice, I can't quite get used to it.
Your God demands sacrifices, and so does ours. I can't see a bit of difference. Anyway, we sacrifice only babies. You do love me, don't you?
Well, of course.
Then prove it, my lord. Join me in the worship of my God.
All right. I've gone this far. I may as well go all the way.
I told you it was a sad day for Israel. Solomon has turned completely away from God. He worships idols. Think of it, idols. He permits human sacrifices and enters into the most degrading rites of heathenism.
It's revolting.
It's more than revolting. Where once we had peace, we now have revolt and rebellion. Adversaries are arising everywhere. Revolution breaks out here and there. Oh, Israel. Poor, unguided Israel.
You may approach the throne, Hadad of Edom. Pharaoh will hear you.
Long live Pharaoh, king of all Egypt.
My scribe said you have a special request to make.
Oh, I have indeed, your majesty. His majesty knows how I and a few of my servants escaped from Edom when Joab, the general of King David's army, destroyed all the male Edomites. I came here, and his majesty graciously gave me and my servants sanctuary. I was then but a child. Many years have gone by. Now I am a man, and I must pay my debt to Edom and take revenge upon Israel.
My dear Hadad, King David is dead. So is Joab, his general. It's too late for revenge.
I ask only that his majesty let me depart Egypt and go to my own country.
You are free to go and come as pleases you, but you married my wife's sister. We're all fond of you and your son, my grandson Ginubeth. He is as one of my own sons. And what lack you here in Egypt? What more can you want?
Nothing, your majesty. Nevertheless, I beg permission to go to my own country and raise up an army to take my revenge upon Israel.
Permission granted.
Men, you have stood by me all these years. David, the king of Israel, slew most of our countrymen at Eliadah many years ago. Since then we have become strong here in Damascus, strong enough to inflict serious injury to Israel. It is true that David now is dead, so is his general Joab. But David's son Solomon reigns on Israel's throne. I say, let us go to Israel. Let us harass him and his people.
Am I not Jeroboam?
You are my son.
I am more than your son. I'm about
when
to be...
a son gets so almighty important to himself that he denies his mother, then it's time
I don't deny you as my mother. I'm merely saying that I am somebody in my own right. When Solomon rebuilt Millo and repaired the city wall, who did he depend on? Who did he make overseer? Me. Why? Because I could be depended on. I was industrious. I was a man of valor.
You still are, my son. I'm the first
I am a stronger man than Solomon himself. I have more principle. I'm more courageous. I should be king instead of Solomon.
Son! That is sacrilegious. I forbid you to say such things, even to think
But I am going to be king. The Lord God himself said so.
The Lord God of Israel? The Lord appeared to you and told you that?
No, not exactly.
That's what I thought.
But the Lord's servant, his prophet, did appear and tell me I'd be king.
The prophet Ahijah?
Yes, Mother. Ahijah met me on the roadway. He wore a new garment and tore it in 12 pieces. And you know what he did with those 12 pieces?
No.
He said that they represented the 12 tribes of Israel, and he gave 10 of them to me. He said I would be king over those 10 tribes.
Why didn't he give you all 12?
God is reserving some for the posterity of David. For David was a man after God's own heart.
These things are true?
Yes, Mother.
When are you going to be king?
The prophet Ahijah said it would be after the death of Solomon, but I don't think I'll wait for Solomon's death. I'll gather together an army and take the 10 tribes now. They're mine, and I'm going to have them.
You say that Jeroboam is starting a revolt? A revolution against me?
Yes, sire.
But he's nobody, the son of one of my servants.
I know, sire. But nonetheless he attempts to wrest the crown from you.
Trouble. That's all I've had since I forsook the God of Israel.
Yes, sire.
But it's too late now. The deed is done. I must take steps to correct it. Tell the general to gather together an army and do away with Jeroboam and his band. Also, while he's at it, have the general do something about Rezin from Damascus and Hadad the Edomite.
Yes, your majesty.
Without delay.
Yes, your majesty. Long live the king.
I've lived a long life. I've accomplished many great things, but I've made even greater mistakes, committed greater sins. If I have done all these things, yet have not been forsaken by God, how blessed would I have been if I had remained true and faithful. But what can I do about it now? I am old, about to die.